Today, we will be learning about the constant of proportionality with a Teen Titans theme. All right, so let's go. First, let's look at what the definition is of constant of proportionality. The unchanging value of the ratio between two proportional quantities. Sounds a little confusing, but I'm going to show you it's exactly the same thing as unit rate. This table shows the number of waffles that Beast Boy has eaten during quarantine. The first number is showing you the number of days passed, and then the second column shows you the total waffles he has eaten. So if we break this down, you can see after 1 day, he'd eaten a total of 6 waffles. After 2 days, he's eaten a total of 12 waffles. So we could tell that Beast Boy eats 6 waffles every day. So the constant of proportionality is 6. This graph here also shows you the same data and allows you to see visually how many waffles he ate each day. You could use this to predict future totals. So if I, for example, were to ask you how many waffles would Beast Boy eat after 5 days, if we were to draw a line that went straight through all these points, although that's not perfectly straight, you could see that after 5 days, he would be about here. So that's 5 days. And that correlates to 30 waffles. The other way that you could determine that is continuing this chart. If every day he's eaten 6 waffles, all we have to do is multiply. After 5 days, we multiply that by the constant of proportionality, which is 6. That would tell us that he would eat a total of 30 waffles. Waffles, waffles, waffles. Beast Boy and Cyborg love waffles so much, we're going to continue to use this theme for our next question. This time, however, we're going to talk about Cyborg. Cyborg, during quarantine, has been recording the number of waffles he ate, but he's only been writing it down every 3 days. So if you look, after 3 days had passed, he'd ate 21 waffles. After 6 days has passed, he's eaten 42, and so on. The question I'm asking you is, what is the constant of proportionality for this table of data? In order to solve that, you simply just have to divide. So I take the number of waffles he ate and divide it by the number of days that have passed. So 21 divided by 3. And that's going to tell you that the constant of proportionality is 7. Well, it will tell you that as long as each row of data matches that. So to check, we can look at the next row. 42 divided by 6 is also 7. 63 divided by 9 is also 7. 84 divided by 12 is also 7. So the constant of proportionality for this data is 7. Here's how that same data would look on a graph. If you were to draw a line connecting all of the points, trying to go through the middle, you could use this data to predict future numbers, or you could look and just make sure that that everything we calculated already was accurate. 1 would be around here, and you see that that point would fall right about 7. So yes, the constant of proportionality would accurately be 7. Now here's another question you might see. Predicting future information, if I asked you how many days had passed if Cyborg has eaten 161 waffles. So now we know that we're talking about 161, but we don't know how many days have passed. So in order to solve that, we need to divide 161 by 7. Again, as I've told you on the previous lessons, right now I'm okay if you use a calculator. 161 divided by 7 is going to equal 23. So the answer to that question would be that 23 days have passed if Cyborg has eaten 161 waffles. If you are a big Teen Titans fan, you may have also seen the episode where Cyborg and Beast Boy argued what was better, a burger or a burrito. So we're going to do some questions based on burgers and burritos. So Beast Boy was making burritos. Today is Cinco de Mayo, so fitting. If he makes each burrito exactly the same way, we're going to use this table to answer the following questions. Notice there is an N representing the number of ounces it takes to make one burrito. That N means we do not know how many ounces it takes to make one burrito. But that's the question that I'm asking you. So in order to solve that, you need to figure out the constant of proportionality. So you need to say to yourself, how do I get from 5 to 25? And the answer to that is simply by multiplying by 5. Now it told us in the question or in the directions that he makes each burrito exactly the same way. So I'm going to use that same number. 8 times 5 will give me 40. So we've now discovered that the constant of proportionality is 5. 1 times 5 will then give me the number of ounces to make one burrito is 5. So the next question, which is simply what is the constant of proportionality, your answer to that is 5. He uses 5 ounces of beans to make each burrito. Now we can also use that data to predict larger numbers of burritos. For example, if I asked how many ounces of beans would he need to make 23 burritos? So if we continue on with this table and we put 23 here, we would simply multiply 23 times 5 to figure out that it takes 115 ounces of beans to make 23 burritos. All right, last slide here. Cyborg is making burgers. It costs him $4 to make 5 burgers and $6.40 to make 8 burgers. Now I'm going to ask you, what is the constant of proportionality? So in order to do this, we're going to create some fractions. So you see it takes $4 to make 5 burritos. I'm going to show you that in type since my handwriting is not the best. So $4 to make 5 burritos. It also takes $6.40 to make 8 burritos. All you need to do to solve this is divide. Again, I am okay if you want to use a calculator. But what you're doing, since this little fraction line here means divide, what you're doing to solve this is dividing 4 by 5. And if you do that, as well as dividing $6.40 by 8, you would see in both cases it gives you 80 cents. 4 divided by 5 is 0.8, which would correlate to 80 cents. So that would mean that 80 cents is my constant of proportionality. Now, the next question is, how much would it cost to make 10 burgers? So since I already figured out that my constant of proportionality was 80 cents, to solve this, all I need to do is multiply 10 times 80 cents. And if you do that, you would see that it costed $8 to make 10 burgers. Finally, I would ask you, if he's selling these burgers for $2 each, how much profit would Cyborg make on 5 burgers? So there's several steps to this question. We first need to figure out how much money he's going to make by selling the burgers and how much it costs to make him the burgers. So if he's selling the burgers for $2 each and he sold 5 burgers, 5 times $2 means he's going to make $10. Now, how much did it cost to make them? You're going to multiply 5 times 80 cents to see that it cost him $4 to make those 5 burgers. And then to see how much profit, because that's what the question is asking you, is how much profit he would make, you simply subtract those two numbers, $10 minus $4, to see that Cyborg would make a profit of $6 on those 5 burgers that he made. Again, the main thing that we're getting from this is in order to find the constant of proportionality, you're going to be dividing. And it is very, very similar to unit rate. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. I hope you enjoyed the Teen Titans lesson. Have a great day.